Happy Taco Tuesday, radio fans. Big Al back with another set of AM and FM radio stations from cities from across the country. And today we are going down to the dirty South. Atlanta, Georgia, baby. This is one of the largest radio markets in the country. And as I said at the end of my Detroit radio station rundown yesterday, that there were some format changes on 3 stations in the Atlanta area. All of them happening on the FM side of the dial. And I'll tell you about all of those in this video. So strap in and let's get started. Okay, AM 590. WDWD Atlanta is Faith Talk 590. This is a Christian talk station from the Salem Media Group. And 590 was also the former Atlanta affiliate of Radio Disney. 610 is WPLO Grayson, La Bonita 610 AM. Solo Musica Bonita, Beatis Pero Bonitas. This is a regional Mexican format owned by Teresa Esquivel. WPLO operates an FM translator in Atlanta at 100.1 W239 AY. 640 is WGST Atlanta, 640 Fox News Radio, Atlanta's home of Fox News Radio. WGST broadcasts a news talk format with news updates, obviously from Fox News, and programming from Premier Radio Networks, the Georgia News Network, and local news and weather updates from WGCL TV CBS 46. WGST is also the Atlanta affiliate of the Alabama Crimson Tide. So that means Crimson Tide football and Crimson Tide men's basketball are heard in Atlanta on WGST. This station is also the Atlanta home for NASCAR, with races from both the Motor Racing Network and the Performance Racing Network. Notable programs that air on WGST include Dave Ramsey, America's First News with Gordon Deal, and Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. WGST is owned by iHeartMedia. 680 is WCNN North Atlanta, the Fan 680 and 93.7 Atlanta sports station. This is a sports talk station with programming from ESPN Radio. They are the flagship station of the Atlanta Braves and the flagship station of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. So that means Georgia Tech football and men's hoops are heard on the Fan. This station is owned by Dickey Broadcasting Company, and they operate translator station W229 AG 93.7 FM Atlanta. 750 is like the pioneer of broadcasting in Atlanta. That's WSB Atlanta. They are branded as 95.5 WSB Atlanta's News and Talk. They broadcast a news and talk format with hourly news updates from ABC News and Fox News Radio. And programming is supplied by Premier Radio Networks and Westwood One. So one notable show that you'll probably hear, I think, would be Red Eye Radio. I'm not sure if they're on WSB or on another station in the area, but Red Eye Radio is produced by Westwood One, so I'm assuming it airs on WSB. But what I can tell you is WSB is the Atlanta flagship station of the Georgia Bulldogs. So you'll hear Bulldogs football and Bulldogs men's basketball on WSB. This station is owned by Cox Media Group. In fact, it is also the company's flagship station. Of course, Cox Media Group is based in Atlanta. Their programming is simulcast on WSB BFM 95.5 in Doraville, which is an Atlanta suburb. 790 is WQXI Atlanta, Radio Korea. This is a Korean format owned by Atlanta Radio Korea Incorporated and was previously the home of 790 The Zone, the former flagship station of both the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Thrashers. That was the hockey team that relocated to Winnipeg in 2011. They have aired the Korean format on WQXI since 2016. 860 is WAEC Atlanta. Love 860, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio. This is a Christian talk station from the Beasley Broadcast Group. 890 is WJTP Lithia Springs, which is a Chinese news and talk station with programming from China Radio International. WJTP is owned by Major Radio LLC and is a daytime-only station, so they are required by FCC law to leave the air at local sunset. 920 is WGKA Atlanta, AM 920 The Answer, news, opinion, insight. This is a conservative talk format with programming from the Salem Radio Network and top-of-the-hour news updates from townhall.com. WGKA is also the Atlanta affiliate for Clemson Tigers football. WGKA is owned by Salem Media Group. 970 is WNIV Atlanta, Faith Talk 970. This is a Christian talk and teaching station from Salem Media Group and is simulcast to the northern suburbs on WLTA 1400 AM in Alpharetta. 1010 is WTZA Atlanta. This is a South Asian radio station known as Radio Punjab. It is currently owned by RC Media Partners, and they operate an FM translator in Atlanta at 102.1 W271CF. 1040 WPBS AM Conyers is VSAM 1040, broadcasting a Vietnamese music and talk format owned by Vanessa Nguyen. WPBS AM is a daytime-only station and is not related in any way to WPBS TV, which is the PBS member station in Watertown, New York, or is it related to the public broadcasting service as a whole. 1080 is WFTD Marietta, Lale 1080. This broadcasts a regional Mexican format owned by Prieto Broadcasting Incorporated. WFTD is a daytime-only station, but they do operate an FM translator on 96.5 in Marietta, W243DQ. And that translator station allows WFTD's programming to run 24 hours a day, even after the main AM signal signs off at local sunset. 1100 is WWWE Hateville, Real 1100, which is an urban AC and talk station from the Beasley Broadcast Group. This station is also a daytime-only operation. AM 1160 WCFO East Point, Atlantic Catholic Radio. This airs a Catholic radio format with network programming from EWTN. WCFO is owned by Atlantic Catholic Radio. 1190 WAFS Atlanta is Relevant Radio, which is a Catholic talk station with programming from Relevant Radio. WAFS is owned by Immaculate Heart Media Incorporated and is a daytime-only station. Now, WAFS used to be owned by Salem Media Group and was airing a business news format before Immaculate Heart purchased the station and flipped it to its current relevant radio format. 1230 is WFOM Marietta, the Sports X. This is the Atlanta affiliate of Fox Sports Radio, owned by Dickey Broadcasting Company, the same people that own WCNN 680 The Fan. And WFOM operates an FM translator in Marietta on 106.3 FM, W292 EV. 1260 is WMDG East Point, which is currently silent. Before falling silent, it aired a news talk format as News Talk AM 1260, with hourly news updates from Fox News Radio and programming from Premier Radio Networks and Fox Sports Radio. The current owner of WMDG is Northwest Georgia Broadcasters. 1300 is WNEA Newman, Your Christian Voice. They have no branding, it's just their slogan, Your Christian Voice. This is a Christian talk and teaching formatted station from Word Christian Broadcasting Incorporated, which also co-owns sister stations WDCP AM 1500 in Dallas, Georgia, and WDCY AM 1520 in Douglasville, Georgia. 1310 is WJZA Decatur, WJZA Smooth Jazz 101.1, Atlanta's home for smooth jazz. So that means this is a smooth jazz station, not too many of those around in the country, and they're owned by Davis Broadcasting of Atlanta, LLC. This station is repeated in North Central Georgia on WNSY 100.1 FM Talking Rock, and their FM translator station, which is 101.1 W266 BW in Winder, Georgia, is currently silent. 1320 is WHIE Griffin, Power Country, Griffin's powerful 5,000 watt station. WHIE airs a country music format with news updates from NBC News and programming from the Real Country Radio Network. WHIE is owned by Chapel Communications, LLC. 1330 is WLBB Carrollton, News Talk 1330, which is a news talk and information station with programming from the Salem Radio Network. This station is owned by Gradic Communications and is an affiliate of the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. And they also operate a translator station in Carrollton at 106.3 W292 EW. 1340 is WIFN Atlanta, branded as ESPN Atlanta 103.7. This is a sports radio station with programming from ESPN Radio. So some of the ESPN programs you won't hear on 680 The Fan because they have mainly local sports talk and play-by-play, like say Golick and Wingo. You'll hear shows like Golick and Wingo on ESPN Atlanta 103.7. This station is owned by the Dickey Broadcasting Company and operates a translator station in Atlanta on 103.7, which is W279CZ. 1380 is WAOK Atlanta, News and Talk 1380 WAOK, the voice of the community. This is an urban talk station with news updates from CBS News on the hour. WAOK is owned by Intercom Communications and is repeated on sister station WVEE 103.3 FM HD3 in Atlanta. 1400 is WCOH Newman, Fox Sports 1400. They are a sports format with programming from Fox Sports Radio, and they are owned by iHeartMedia. In fact, this is one of, I think, 9 radio stations in the Atlanta area in which iHeartMedia owns. 1400 is WLTA Alpharetta. This is the simulcast of Faith Talk 970, which is the Christian talk and teaching station from Salem Media Group. 1410 is WKKP Madonna, Classic Country 100.9 and 1410, you're in Classic Country. So judging by the slogan and the branding, this is a classic country station. It is owned by Henry County Radio Incorporated and is simulcast in Jackson, Georgia on WJGA 92.1 FM. WKKF, or rather WKKP, also operates an FM translator station in McDonough on 100.9 W265 BG. 1420 is WWSZ Decatur, Streets 94.5, Atlanta's new hip-hop station. That's probably an outdated slogan. I'm pretty sure they have a different one now. But anyway, this is an urban contemporary station, one of many in the Atlanta market. It is owned by JDJ Communications, LLC. This station is simulcast on translator station W233BF 94.5 FM in Atlanta, and is simulcast on WIPK 94.5 FM in Calhoun, Georgia. It had previously run or repeated on WSTR 94.1 HD3 in Smyrna, but that's no longer the case. 1430 is WYKG Covington, branded as The King. This is an urban and inspirational radio station owned by Light Media Holdings Incorporated. They broadcast a translator station in Covington at 105.5 W288DX. 1480 is WYZE Atlanta, which is currently silent. It previously aired an urban gospel station known as WYZE Radio, Atlanta's gospel voice. The current owner of WYZE is New Ground Broadcasting, LLC. They had just recently purchased the station back in September of last year from its previous owner. 1490 is WKUN Monroe, the voice of Walton County. This is a gospel music station with programming from Salem Communications and is presently owned by B.R. Anderson. 1500 and 1520, pretty much they air the same format. 1500 is WDPC Dallas. 1520 is WDCY Douglasville. Both stations are branded as the voice of old-time religion. Both feature a Christian talk and teaching format owned by World Christian Broadcasting Incorporated. This station is simulcast on WNEA Newman at 1300. And both WDPC and WDCY, in accordance with their licenses with the FCC, are required to sign off the air at local sunset, as they are both daytime only stations. 1550 is WAZX Smyrna. WAZX 1550, which is an oldie station from Intelli LLC. That's INTELLI, Intelli. 1570 WIGO Morrow, AM 1570 The Light. This is an urban gospel station owned by MCL MCM Georgia LLC. 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to get that out. All right, I'm okay though. All right, 1600, 1460, and 1130 are a part of a multicast station. WAOS Austell broadcasts on 1600, WXEM Beaufort on 1460, and WLBA Gainesville on 1130. These three stations are known as La Mejor, Número Uno en Música Mexicana. All three stations broadcast a regional Mexican format and is owned by La Favorita Incorporated. WLBA, however, is a daytime-only station, so they do sign off the air at local sunset. So I counted 8 daytime-only stations on the AM side of the dial in the Atlanta market. And in 1690 is WMLB Avondale Estates. This is a silent radio station, which was previously known as AM 1690 WMLB. The voice of the arts. Wikipedia had them written down as an oldies formatted station, but they played various types of music, from classical to rock. They played pretty much everything. But as of right now, this station is silent. Their current owner is JW Broadcasting, and has been silent now for about the past 2 years. So that's the AM side of the dial. Now let's go to the FM. And I didn't include too many smaller non-commercial stations on this list. I wanted to make this as quick as possible. Anyway, 88.5 channel 203 is WRAS Atlanta. They are dual branded as Album 88 and GPB, or Georgia Public Broadcasting. That's GPB 88.5 Atlanta. There is a slogan, however, for Album 88, which is left on the dial, right on the music. WRAS broadcasts Georgia Public Broadcasting programming, which is a news talk format, from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 days a week. Album 88 is the college run station that runs on this frequency from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern Time. News and programming on Georgia Public Broadcasting are supplied by National Public Radio. WRAS is wholly owned by Georgia State University, but is operated during the daytime hours by Georgia Public Broadcasting. 89.3 channel 207 is WRFG Atlanta, Radio Free Georgia, your station for progressive information and handpicked music. This is a community radio station owned by the Radio Free Georgia Broadcasting Foundation. 90.1 channel 211 is WABE Atlanta. 90.1 WABE is the main branding, and then WABE Classics is the classical music branding for their second digital subchannel. And let me write this down. This station is in high definition. There. And the slogan for the station is where ATL meets NPR. So on FM analog and HD1 is the public radio format with programming from NPR, Public Radio International, and American Public Media. While HD2 airs classical music. WABE is owned by Atlanta Public Schools, which also owns WPBA TV Channel 30, one of the two PBS member stations in the Atlanta area. 90.7 Channel 214 is WUOG Athens, which is a college-run radio station from the University of Georgia. 90.7, this is another 90.7 on Channel 214, is WUWG Carrollton. They're known as WUWG FM 90.7. They are a part of the Georgia Public Broadcasting Network, airing a public radio format. 91.1 Channel 216 in high definition is WREK Atlanta. Now the call sign meaning is the Ramblin' Wreck. This is the Georgia Tech student-run station. They're known as WREK Atlanta, Georgia Tech Student Radio. Quality, diverse programming. Again, this is a student-run college radio station, which is owned by the Georgia Tech Radio Communications Board. So technically speaking, Georgia Tech owns the station. 91.5 Channel 218 is WWEV FM Cumming. Victory 91.5, The Sound of Revival. This station airs contemporary worship music and Christian talk programming from War Hill Christian Fellowship Incorporated. 91.7 Channel 219, I have to include this one. In fact, there are a couple of stations on here, but this one in particular I had to put on is WUGA Athens, which is WUGA 91.7 and 94.5. Your oasis for ideas and the arts. So this is a triple threat. They air news talk, classical music, and jazz. The station is owned by Georgia Public Broadcasting, but is operated outright by the University of Georgia, which is based there in Athens. They also operate an FM translator station in Athens on 94.5 W233CA. The other station that operates on 91.7 is a dual frequency station, WMVW Peachtree City and WMVV Griffin. Both stations are branded as New Life FM, heartwarming, life-changing. They air Christian talk and teaching programming from Life Radio Ministries, and this dual frequency station predominantly airs to the southern half of the Atlanta metro area. 91.9 Channel 220 in high definition is WCLK Atlanta, Jazz 91.9, the jazz of the city. They play jazz music on both their FM analog HD1 and HD2 signals with programming supplied by NPR. WCLK is owned by Clark Atlanta University, and they operate a translator station on 89.7 W209CG, Tallapoosa, Georgia. All right, commercial end of the FM band now. 92.1 Channel 221 is WBTR Carrollton, B92.1. Today's best country and all your favorites. Their branding is actually B92.1 country. But anyway, they are a country music format, and they are the Western Georgia affiliate for the Atlanta Braves, NASCAR with racing from both Motor Racing Network and the Performance Racing Network, and Georgia Bulldogs football. WBTR is owned by Graddick Communications. 92.9 Channel 225 in high definition is WZGC Atlanta. 92.9 The Game, Atlanta Sports Radio. FM analog NHD1 is the sports format, and this station is the Atlanta affiliate of CBS Sports Radio. WZGC is also the radio flagship home of the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Hawks. This station is owned by Entercom and previously was known as 92.9 Dave FM, which was a classic hit station from 2004 to 2012. That was when they switched to their current sports format. 93.3 Channel 227 is WVFJ FM Greenville. 93.3 and 102.1 Joy FM, helping you find joy. This station airs contemporary Christian music. Except for during the holiday season, they play Christmas music. And this is one of two stations in Atlanta that plays Christmas music. WVFJ is owned by Radio Training Network, and their programming is repeated in Macon on WWWD 102.1 FM in Bolingbroke, Georgia. That's Bolingbroke, Bolingbroke. 94.1 Channel 231 in high definition is WSTR Smyrna. Star 94.1 Today's Hits. FM analog and HD1 is Hot Adult Contemporary. On HD2 is Classic Hits. And on HD3 is Channel Q. That's the station from Entercom that airs talk music or talk radio and dance music to the LGBTQ community. This station again is owned by Entercom. 94.5 Channel 233 is technically translator W233BF Atlanta 94.5. It is also known as WIPKFM Calhoun. This is Streets 94.5. Again, the slogan is a little outdated. I got it written down as Atlanta's new hip-hop station, but as I said earlier, I think it's something else. This is an urban contemporary format, and WIPK is owned by Cove Communications North, LLC. The translator station on 94.5, which is W233BF Atlanta, is presently owned by Edgewater Broadcasting. And this is the simulcast of WWSZ AM Decatur at 1420. 94.9 Channel 235 in high definition is WUBL Atlanta. 94.9 The Bull. Today's Best Country. FM analog HD1 is country music. HD2 is adult hits branded as 94.9 The Lake. And on HD3 is the simulcast of 640 Fox Sports Radio WGST with the news talk format. 1 second again. At the cough. WUBL is owned by iHeartMedia. 95.5 Channel 258, or rather Channel 238 in high definition, is WSB-BFM Doraville. 95.5 WSB Atlanta's News and Talk. Now this is the FM simulcast of WSB AM 750. News Talk airs on FM and HD1. HD2 is contemporary hit radio. And of course, FM and HD1 airs news updates from ABC News and Fox News Radio, and programming from Premier Radio Networks and Westwood One. and they are also the flagship station of the Georgia Bulldogs. WSBB is owned by locally owned Cox Media Group. 96.1 Channel 241 in high definition is WWPW Atlanta. Power 96.1, Atlanta's #1 hit music station. FM analog and HD1 is Top 40 CHR. HD2 is Contemporary Christian, labeled as iHeartRadio Christian Hits. And in HD3 is Urban Contemporary, which is now known as 105.3 The Beat. They had just recently moved from 96.7. WWPW is owned by iHeartMedia. And speaking of 96.7, Channel 244 in high definition is WBZW Union City. Z105.7 and 96.7, Número Uno para hits de hoy. FM analog HD1 is Spanish CHR. And there are no additional subchannels. WBZW is owned by iHeartMedia, and this station is simulcast on WBZY 105.7 FM Canton. Now that used to be an alternative rock station before they flipped to this Spanish CHR simulcast, as now known as Z105.7 and 96.7. This station also operates a translator in Cumming at 97.5 W248 BV. 97.1 Channel 246 in high definition is WSRV Gainesville. 97.1 The River, Atlanta's classic hit station. And this is labeled as a classic. They have this listed as a classic rock station on FM analog and HD1. And I think that kind of makes sense since Atlanta really doesn't have a clear-cut classic rock station. So I think it's kind of fair that they did label it as that. HD2 is alternative rock, also known as the other side of the river. WSRV is owned by Cox Media Group. And there are two translator stations, W228CA 93.5 in Suwanee and W249CK 97.7 in Duluth, rebroadcast the alternative rock format on the HD2 subchannel. 97.5 W248 is WUMJ Fayetteville. Magic 107.5 and 97.5. Their technical slogan is the real sound of Atlanta. This is an urban adult contemporary format from Urban One and is simulcast on WAMJ 107.5 FM in Roswell, Georgia. 98.5 Channel 253 in high definition is WSBFM Atlanta, B98.5, 80s, 90s, and now. FM Analog HD1 plays hot adult contemporary. HD2 is soft adult contemporary. And on HD3 is the regional Mexican station La Raza, 102.3 and 107.1. So this is the simulcast of both WLKQ and WTSM. And I will be telling you about both of those stations a little bit later. Translator station W296BB Jonesboro on 107.1 relays HD3. WSBFM is owned by Cox Media Group. 99.3 Channel 257 WCON FM Cornelia, My Country 99.3. The music that made country great. So this is a classic country radio station with programming from the Georgia News Network, and they are also an affiliate of the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. This station is owned by Haversham Broadcasting Company. 99.7 Channel 259 in high definition is WWWQ-FM Atlanta, Q99.7, Atlanta's new hits. FM analog and HD1 is top 40 CHR. So they are in competition with Power 96.1 for the CHR audience in Atlanta. On HD2 is their former branding 99X, which is an alternative rock station relayed by translator W255CJ Atlanta on 98.9 FM. And HD3 is OG 97.9, which is a classic hip-hop station relayed by translator W250BC Atlanta at 97.9 FM. Q99.7 is owned by Cumulus. 100.1 channel 261 is WNSY Talking Rock. Smooth Jazz, WJZA 101.1, Atlanta's home for smooth jazz. This station is owned by Davis Broadcasting of Atlanta LLC and airs a smooth jazz format. This is the FM simulcast of WJZA 1310 AM in Decatur. 100.5 channel 263, WNNX College Park. Rock 100.5, the new sound of Rock 100.5, Atlanta's rock station. This is a mainstream rocker from Cumulus Media, and this was the original home of WWWQ. Because back then, 99.7 and 100.5 were opposite of what they were today. 99.7 had the rock format, and 100.5 had the top 40 format. Because when WNNX was at 99.7, they were known as 99X. And then WWWQ was, of course, Q100. I think it was in 2015 or 16, I'll have to read up on this again, that the two stations changed frequencies. So that means WWWQ in its top 40 format is on the stronger 99.7 frequency, which is at 100,000 watts, while WNNX moved to the weaker 100.5 frequency, whose ERP is only 13,000 watts. So there's a story on both Q99.7 and Rock 100.5. 101.5 channel 268 in high definition is WKHX FM Marietta. This has recently been rebranded as New Country 101.5. Made in Georgia, love around the world. FM analog HD1 is country music. HD2 is urban contemporary with programming from Cumulus Media Networks and Premier Radio Networks. And this station is also owned by Cumulus, so they're a sister of both WWWQ and WNNX. Now, as I said, this station has been rebranded recently as New Country 101.5, and they did that after this station had their longtime branding as Kicks 101.5. So there's the story there. 102.3 channel 272 in high definition is WLKO FM Buford. La Raza 102.3, 107.1. Atlanta's número uno para música mexicana. FM and HD1 is regional Mexican. And in HD2 is a contemporary Christian station branded as the Joy FM, which is relayed over translator W223CQ Lawrenceville on 92.5. WLKQ is owned by Davis Broadcasting of Atlanta LLC and is simulcast at WTSH 107.1 FM in Aragon, Georgia. 102.5, channel 273 is WPZE Mableton. Praise 102.5, Atlanta's inspiration station. Their FM analog and HD1 signals play the main format, which is urban gospel, and there are no other subchannels. WPZE is owned by Urban One. 103.3, channel 277 is one of Atlanta's top rated radio stations and have been for many years. WVEE Atlanta. The People Station V103. The ATL's #1 for hip hop and R&B. FM analog and HD1 is urban contemporary, although they do play urban gospel on Sunday mornings, and they play slow jams Sunday through Thursday nights, I think from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. They're one of the few hip-hop stations in the country to do that. HD2 is V103 International, which is international hits. And then HD3 is the Urban Talk simulcast of sister station WAOK AM. V103 is owned by Intercom. 104.1, channel 281 in high definition is WALR FM Palmetto. KISS 104, Atlanta's R&B. So on the main HD1 and FM analog signals is Urban Adult Contemporary. And then on HD2 is a dance EDM station known as The Surge. WALR is owned by Cox Media Group, and they operate a translator in Swanee at 93.5 W228CA. 104.7, channel 284, WFSH FM Athens. This is 104.7 The Fish, safe for the whole family. They broadcast a contemporary Christian music format with Christmas music during the holiday season, much like their competitors Joy FM 93.3. WFSH is owned by Salem Media Group. 105.3, channel 287. This is the second of the three stations in question that switch their formats around, and that's WRDA Bowden. 105.3 The Beat, the A's hip hop and R&B. Now this station used to be at 96.7. FM analog and HD1 is Urban Contemporary, and it's also the Atlanta affiliate of the Breakfast Club, which is ran out of iHeart sister station Power 105 in New York. On HD2 is Latin hits labeled as Rumba. This station is owned by iHeartMedia, as is 105.7, channel 289 in high definition, which is WBZY Canton. Z105.7, 96.7, Número Uno para hits de hoy. Now, this station displaced the old alternative rock format a few weeks ago. So FM analog and HD1 no longer playing alternative rock, but now a Spanish CHR. The old alternative rock format has moved to HD2 as Alt 1057 HD2, and then HD3 is dance and EDM music known as Pride Radio. And this station, as I said, is owned by iHeartMedia. 106.1, channel 291, WNGC Arcade Athens. Yes, there's a city in Georgia called Arcade. Look it up on Wikipedia. 106.1 WNGC, Your Georgia Country. This is a country music station, and they also broadcast Georgia Bulldogs football. WNGC is owned by Cox Media Group. 106.7, channel 294 is WAKL Gainesville. Positive, encouraging K-Love. FM analog is and HD1 is, of course, K-Love, which is contemporary Christian music. HD2 is Air 1, which is worship music. And then HD3 is the newly launched K-Love Classics, which airs classic Christian contemporary, mainly the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. WAKL is owned by EMF, the Educational Media Foundation, and they operate a pair of translator stations in the northern suburbs. They operate 92.3 W222 AF in Marietta and 92.5 W223 BP in Lithia Springs. 107.1 Channel 296 is WTSH FM Aragon. La Raza 102.3 and 107.1 Número uno para música mexicana. This is a regional Mexican format, which is technically owned by Women's World Broadcasting, but operated by Davis Broadcasting of Atlanta, LLC. And this is the simulcast of Buford's WLKQ 102.3. This station is also repeated on Cox Media Group owned WSB 98.5 HD3 in Atlanta. 107.5 Channel 298 in high definition is WAMJ Roswell. Magic 107.5 97.5. Now, Magic here is spelled MAJIC, not MAGIC. The real sound of Atlanta is their slogan. Urban Adult Contemporary is played on FM Analog and HD1. And then HD2 is their newly launched Urban Oldies station, Classics 102.9, Atlanta's classic R&B station. WAMJ is owned by Urban One and is simulcast on WUMJ 97.5 in Fayetteville, which we talked about earlier. Translator station W275BK 102.9 in Decatur relays the Urban Oldies format on HD2. And 107.9 Channel 300 is WHTA Hampton, Hot 107.9, Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station. Urban Contemporary plays on FM Analog and on HD1, and there are no additional subchannels. And WHTA is owned by Urban One. So yeah, you look at the Atlanta radio market, a lot of stations geared at the African American community, and I counted, I think, like 4 or 5 hip-hop stations. I mean, it's crazy. They've got a lot of hip-hop stations in Atlanta. I mean, that city is a hotbed for rap music. Anyway, that's the AM and FM stations across Atlanta, Georgia. The series continues tomorrow with a look at our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow for that. Till then, I'm Big Al. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.